You can make art. I don't care how bad you think it is something that you can do. You can find your own style, you can fine tune it, and you can improve over time. You can learn how to draw, you can learn how to sculpt, you can find a way to create art. Art is something that is special about who we are as human beings. It's a form of human expression that it's kind of like an extension of the person who made it. And a lot of people dedicate a lot of time to try to make their art as perfect to them as possible. And it's something that you 100% can do. It doesn't matter if your art looks like this, which is something that I've made, it's still art. It's something that is still human made. And we are currently living through an era on the internet where there is a push for AI generated images or videos. And that's not something that I'm a fan of. I don't like that corporations are choosing AI over actually hiring someone to design their poster. I don't like that there's these film studios that are planning on making completely AI generated animated movies instead of, again, hiring a team of creatives to do that. And I don't like that there's this huge section of the paleo space that would rather produce AI filled content rather than actually learning their own art or trying to create something that can contribute to that. And it is everywhere today. No matter where you go on the internet, there are AI images out there, and it's not something that I love to see. What I do love to see is actual art, paleo art, and any type of art that is created by a human being. That's why I do this series. That's why I like to look at your guys' amazing art, because I want it to have some form of a platform. That's why we're doing another video of this. And again, if you are an artist and you wish to submit your work whenever I do a video like this, then just follow the link down to my Discord below and you'll get an announcement when I eventually do it again. That opening was definitely long-winded, but I want you to know where I stand on that. Of course, my wife is an artist, so it's something that is connected to my household. I am mutuals with a ton of paleo artists on Instagram and on TikTok, and I see their work all the time, and I'd prefer us to hold on to something that's a little bit more human made than something that you type into a prompt saying, you know, give me this, and then it generates it, and then it takes from it takes other people's styles. And I don't like that. I don't like that that's the direction that many people want us to go. So I'm going to keep doing videos like this. And so, yeah, you already know what we're doing. We're looking at my Discord servers, amazing paleo art, and let's get right into it. Also, full disclosure going into this, I'm going to try to include everybody this time around. I want to try to include everyone's art, which is not something that I've done with the previous video because there was a lot of submissions, and there were a lot of submissions this time too. So this is going to be a lengthy video, and you know, just because I'm trying to include everybody's doesn't mean that I'll ultimately end up doing that. So if yours does not get included, it's of course nothing against your art. It's mostly just for like the length of the video, but we're going to try to get everybody's art in here. So it's gonna be a long video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some amazing art. So we have this first piece right here, and of course everybody's names will be, I included their names in the screenshots as well, and a lot of them did share their social media, so definitely go and support them. Always support artists. The first one is a screenshot from Path of Titans. You can always get like amazing, beautiful shots in Path of Titans. You got an Acrocanthosaurus here and a Parasaurolophus right here. The lighting looks amazing. That is a fantastic start right there. Next up, this looks really cool. We got some allosaurs, a pair of allosaurs with, I assume this is a Camptosaurus. Very amazing work. The crests look amazing on them. I love how sharp they are. Just really, really cool work in general. And just a nice little design of the floodplains of the Morrison Formation. Looks awesome. Oh, Kanadi, I know you. I follow you on TikTok. An amazing Cryolophosaurus right here. Like, that looks really cool. I love the green, and I love the sort of sparse fuzz it has right here. Something that certainly does make sense for an animal like Cryolophosaurus, and the crest looks absolutely amazing as well. So another fantastic submission. We got a Giganotosaurus right here. Nice kind of like purple coloration. I love the way that the lips look. Like, the oral tissue looks fantastic, and this sort of nasal ridge that it has going on right here also looks really cool. So yeah, another fantastic piece right there. Then we have a Tyrannosaurus going after a Triceratops right here. Skeletal structures look absolutely amazing. I love the scarring on the T-Rex as well. And it has like all of the proper bulk. Love the red on the frill and these sparse little quills back here. Oh, and look, the little bite on the horn. That looks really cool. Awesome job. And then we got two, I assume, Tyrannosaurs with their little juveniles back here. They're covered in some fluff. They look really good as well. Awesome, awesome additions. Nice little 2D art as well, which is always a very welcome addition. This one, absolutely creepy right here. Got a Carnotaurus that had caught an unfortunate victim. Their hand is kind of like just hanging out. You know, that's really unfortunate. The Carnotaurus looks really cool though. Like that is fantastic right there. We'll go and move on. The Suchomimus, this looks really good. I love the sort of sparse feathers that it has right there because I'm not really someone who's opposed to that, even in Spinosaurids. It's, you know, it's, I wouldn't be surprised if most, if not all dinosaurs had it, especially if it was like in a sparse way like this. The skull looks really good as well. Fantastic job right there. Ooh, a little Sinosauropteryx right here. Got all the colors all properly done, including the ringed tail that the little fella had, which apparently is a juvenile, which I didn't know that. I love the colors on this one. It's very vibrant, very cool, and I love the way that the grass looks as well. That's really awesome. Next up, we have a Proceratosaurus, and it's, of course, completely, you know, it's a puppet over here, 3D modeled, sculpted, and 3D printed. Absolutely amazing job right there. It looks really good. I love the way that that crest looks. Nice kind of like bright red crest with some cool patterns on it, as well as like the fluff back here, all those feathers. Very, very awesome job right there. Proceratosaurus is certainly a cool dinosaur, and it features in a short film, so I'm sure you can go and check that out. Yeah, that'll be awesome. An Abiosaurus right here. It's of course a plesiosaur. That looks really cool as well. I love the lighting right here. I like the bright light right here. It kind of seems like that's the light that's being shown from the cameraman, and the rest is kind of like shrouded in darkness. That's very dynamic. I love the way that that looks. This is awesome. This Parasaurolophus with some really cool blue coloration going on right here, mixed in with the rest of the colors. I also really do like the skin that's right here, and the detail is absolutely insane on this one. That is a fantastic, fantastic piece right there. This one's cool. This one's really cool because, of course, recently there was July, and in July you had the release of Superman, Jurassic World Rebirth, and Fantastic Four. All pretty dang good movies, too. So kind of like seeing them kind of like, you know, just all interacting with each other. That's a very cool thing right there. We have a Spinosaurus right here that's kind of like assuming the pose of the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. You know, when you hear the phone ringing, it's kind of just standing there like, ugh. But instead, it's a lot more accurate. I've seen a lot of depictions like this that kind of assume this pose and kind of like show Spinosaurus if it was a modern take of the animal with the relatively short legs and the paddle tail and all that. Looks really good. I love the angle that it's standing at. It looks fantastic. I'm saying fantastic a lot. Kind of fitting that I just saw Fantastic Four not too long ago. This one was done for Pride Month. You got two male Tyrannosaurs right here, and a bunch of little compies just kind of like hanging out all over the place. Looks very cool. And the arms are facing the proper way, which is also really good. Very awesome. One right here, we have an Ocellalia and 3 Adiposaurus, which that's pretty cool. I really like that. The Ocellalia hair over here looks really cool. And these fellas look really cool as well. Hand-drawn work is always really amazing to me, and this just looks really dynamic, and I do really quite like it. And Neovenator! Learned a little bit about Neovenator recently. I like it. The whole shape of the skull seems on point. Again, I love the little sparse feathers it has going on, and the scarring looks really cool too, especially like on the face, when it seems like a lot of theropods, at the very least, mostly Tyrannosaurids, would partake in face biting. So there would, you know, it's likely that other theropods would do that too. So there'd probably be a lot of scarring on their face. Ooh, this one we have Irritator right here. That's really cool. I love the pink right there, especially emphasized on the throat, since recently we know that Irritator had more like sort of a pelican-like pouch rather on the lower jaw, and something like this kind of feels like it emphasizes that. So that's very cool. Very nice job right there. We have Nothronicus right here. That's cool. That looks like an image that you just caught, like you're out there searching for animals and you just caught this fella. That's very cool. I really like that. That's awesome. Right here we have some slightly older art of a stylized Spinosaurus. Very cool. Very cool. His name's Donnie too. This is definitely like an older depiction of Spinosaurus. You can tell with the relatively long legs and everything. I love the red, especially mixed in with the gray and the black. Very good work right there. Oh, we have the Jurassic World Evolution 2 Allosaurus. That's very cool. I love how dynamic this one is. Kind of like running towards you, but also like looking off to the side. You pretty much nailed the whole shape of it too, and those arms are very beefy. That'd be kind of terrifying to come across, really. And of course, it does have the osteoderms, much like the Evolution 2 Allosaurus does, as well as the movie version. Very cool. The shading also looks really good. Right here, we have a pterosaur with an awesome looking crest, and of course, these teeth are kind of poking out. That's really nice. And I love the pycnofibers on it too. Very good detail in that one. Oh, and this is Terry from Dinosaur King right here. That's awesome. I always love seeing Terry. It has a lot of the bulk that T-Rex has in life. Of course, Terry is like an outdated depiction of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So Terry himself is a lot more thin. This one makes it a lot more bulky, which is more true to life to what Tyrannosaurus truly was. So very awesome right there, and awesome colors, of course. Terry has really cool colors. I've seen this one before. This is, of course, a custom Beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaurus Rex. This time going after a Triceratops, also from Beast of the Mesozoic. But yeah, the custom figure has like a really cool paint job with some scarring as well. And of course, some feathers, which is really cool. I really do like that. That's really awesome. Right here, I assume, yes, Spinosaurus right there. We've got another Spinosaurus right here. Kind of reminds me of the Isle, I suppose. Like there's that one Spinosaurus that's like really thin, I suppose. Like you can really see the individual like neural spines and the chevrons down here. That's really cool though. That's really cool and dynamic. I love the shape of the skull as well, and the colors are really awesome. Fantastic job. Fantastic Four. This is cool. This is really cool. So we got the Anasaon, which are of course dire wolves, and they're feasting on an equus, which is a horse, obviously the genus name for horse, and a camelops. So this is all La Brea, which, yeah, it says right there, La Brea tar pits. Very cool. Very, very cool. And I love the way that the dire wolves look. I like how they don't look like the giant Game of Thrones dire wolves. Hint, hint. But no, really good job on that one. I'm really a huge fan of this one. Like, I love the reflection in their eyes. Which certainly makes a lot of sense. Like if you're taking a photograph of them, their eyes would reflect back. So it makes it feel real. And especially like the pose that the horse is taking, which feels very realistic as well. Conculu. Conculu is a recent Tyrannosaurid. Very awesome art right here. Yeah, and actually Conculu is like a huge Tyrannosaurid discovery. And not huge in the sense that it's big. It's a small Tyrannosaurid or a medium-sized Tyrannosaurid, but it seems to be the direct ancestor of Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is huge. That's awesome. Amazing art. I love the blue on its like post-orbital horn right here, as well as like the lacrimal crest up here, and this sort of nasal ridge that has more of a purple coloration. Very good job. I love that one. I can't wait to see more Conculu art, because Conculu is a very, very cool Tyrannosaurid. Ooh, this one's awesome. So we got a Megaraptor Rhino Hunt. Kind of like one of those things that you would probably want to see from the Jurassic franchise nowadays, of like the dinosaurs being around in the modern day, and this poor rhino just being taken down by some Megaraptors. I love their sparse feathers that they have going on here. It looks like we have like a Nyctosaurus up here, I believe. That's cool. A pterosaur being flocked by either being attacked by some birds or maybe other smaller pterosaurs. Regardless, very dynamic work. The poses look really good, and yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. Very good Tyrannosaurus right here. Like, that looks really cool. I love the way that it's forward facing. You can see that those eyes are facing forward. You nailed the way that these eye structures look, like the post-orbital and the lacrimal horns that it has, and the sort of nasal ridge, and the lips look really cool. And I think that's from K-Pop Demon Hunter. Fantastic movie, by the way. I've been singing Soda Pop for like the past week. And I love these little feathers that you have right here at the edge of the tail. That's just really cool. Awesome job. I love this one. Ooh, from the Western Interior Seaway, we got Credo. It's a shark. It's a shark. It's a shark I've never been able to pronounce, unfortunately. I know of its existence, but that's its name right there. Amazing, amazing work right here, though. That looks so cool. I love the way that the shark looks. I love how it has some scarring here. And it just, yeah, and especially with the shading and everything and the light shining through the seaway, just looks really cool. Amazing work right there. Here we have another Spinosaurus, a non-binary Spino that was made last month. Really cool colors right here, and it does have lips. I love seeing Spinosaurus with lips, because most people don't depict it with lips, and I do think that it probably did have lips, because I don't think it was as semi-aquatic as some people seem to suggest. The whole skeletal shape looks really cool, and I love the way that it's lying down. Very cool. Amazing work right there. Ooh, another Spinosaurus. This one looks fantastic. It's a little bit stylized in a very fun way. I love the way that its eye looks, and it also has lips. That's 2 in a row. That's awesome. The sail looks really cool as well, and I love the way that the tail looks. And I love how you can see a little sail back here, so it's got a little buddy that's hanging out with. Love that. Amazing job. So right here we do have apparently a botched grayscale Fang. I disagree. I think it looks really good. You got the whole shape of Fang pretty well like done. You know, you got the striping and everything. Looks amazing. You know, as long as you're creating art, there's no such thing as a bad like a botched take, if you ask me. Accurate Spiny from Dinosaur King, of course, got the proper skull shape finally. The proper tail shape, and the sail looks really good as well. Spiny's colors are really cool, and they're translated very well right here. So awesome job. So we have an illustration of Bajatosaurus right here, which is cool. I love it. I love the way that Bajatosaurus's neural spines kind of like face forward like that, and they're captured pretty dang well right here. That is very, very cool. I do really like that. Awesome job. Again, with the hand-drawn work, it looks really cool. Ooh, this one's awesome. So we have a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ooh, I love its colors. And the sparse fuzz, you guys are killing it with the sparse fuzz. All of you are. A Therizinosaurus right here, which looks really good. I love the coverage of the feathers on it as well. And an Archaeopteryx down here, which seemingly also has like the correct wing color, because we know what part of the wing of Archaeopteryx looked like, and it was sort of like a matte black coloration, and you could kind of see that right here with the Archaeopteryx. So that is accurate in that sense. That's awesome. And also got scale right here. That's amazing. This looks so good though. I love their pose and everything. It looks awesome. Ooh, we got a Dilophosaurus right here. Drew it on an iPad. Oh, the colors are based on the Jurassic Park book. Awesome. Might have been 14 when I drew it. That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. So yeah, we got the coloration that you see that you can hear described in the Jurassic Park novel, with a very awesome red crest right here. And the skull shape also matches up very well. I really like the way that this one looks, honestly. I love the line work in particular. There's something about it that just gives it a really cool style. So amazing job. Ooh, we got Titanosaurus here from Jurassic World Rebirth. Awesome pose right here as it's kind of looking down with that huge bulbous snout and the sort of fish-like fins that it has on its head. The shading on this one looks really good, and I love the detail. I love like all the individual circles that kind of represent scales. Awesome stuff. This is very cool. This is very cool. We got a Quetzalcoatlus flying in front of a solar eclipse, something that I don't think I've ever really caught myself considering, the fact that dinosaurs had to go through solar eclipses too. That's cool. That's a cool thought, and now we need more imagery of dinosaurs while the solar eclipse was happening. Of course, Quetzalcoatlus is not a dinosaur, but we need that like with all of those extinct fauna. You know, I think we need more art of that. So awesome, awesome stuff. I love it. That is so cool. Need more of this. Oh, we got a Carnotaurus right here, the skeleton for reference right here, and a cutie patootie right here. It's so cool. I love the way that the horns look too. I love how they kind of like curve downwards a little bit, you know, taking into account the keratin that grows on the bony core. Because right here, what you see here, that's the bony core. It would have been layered in keratin, which means the Carnotaurus's horns would have been larger in life, and that's represented here. That's very cool. And the whole shape of it looks fantastic as well. That adds a very cool design right there, and I love the shadows as well. Just awesome stuff. You guys are all flipping awesome. This one's really cool. It looks like the colors are based off of a pigeon, which I love. It's a Ceratosaurus. Just look at that. Look at that. And aren't those cool colors? Don't pigeons have cool colors with the grays and the sort of iridescent sheen that it has going on? But the skull shape looks really good, and I love how much bulk you gave it, especially in the neck. That is so, so cool. I love the way that turned out. I think you did a fantastic job on that one. And now I love... Like now I'm always going to think of like Ceratosaurus with pigeon colors, because it's not something I've ever considered until now. That's a fun thing to do. I love that. So here we have a Tyrannosaurus Rex right here. That looks really cool. I love how much bulk it has. That's something I always mention with T-Rex, because T-Rex was very bulky. I love the way that the teeth look and the arms as well. And you got some really good shading going on right here as well. That's just so cool. Mipe, God, that's creepy. That is creepy. Mipe is a creepy dinosaur, I swear, man. Megaraptorids? Ugh. But yeah, you got its whole slender build down, as well as those huge and powerful arms with massive claws, which is true for life, and the sort of arrowhead-shaped skull. So yeah, another awesome job right here. Red, I've seen a lot of your work before. I'm pretty sure I might follow you on TikTok. I think. Yeah, I've seen a lot of your work though. But yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. This Dilophosaurus right here, male, father to Mercury. I believe I've seen Mercury before your art. The crest looks really good. I love all of these little spikes going on, and the coloration is just killing it here. That is just so cool. Amazing stuff right there. I love it. One right here, we have a Cirrocopteryx, which it enjoys a washed up Mausonia carcass before a pair of Spinosaurs give the little man a fright. The Spinosaurs just let him enjoy it. Let him enjoy it. That looks so good though. I love the shading too. This looks like something I would see in a book. Like that just looks really cool. Amazing work on that one. I especially love the crest on Spinosaurus right here and the sort of shading you have right here that gives it some nice depth. That looks really good. I really like that. Tyrannosaurus Rex Trix, based on the skeleton in the Natural History Museum in Leiden. That looks cool. I love that. The green always feels like it's like very classic dinosaur to see this sort of green coloration, especially with some like darker green stripes or some black stripes or something like that. Looks very cool though. And the whole shape of it looks really great as well. You can tell that it's based off of the skeleton. Amazing work. Oh, we have a screenshot from Prehistoric Kingdom. What can I say, man? Prehistoric Kingdom does look gorgeous, and it is the perfect spot to do some awesome screenshots. This is no exception. I love the way that it looks. I love how it's just kind of like up close to the camera. That's very cool. I love that. We got some Acrocanthosaurs right here. Love the way that they look. You nailed the whole shape of their skull and their whole, like the whole bulk of them and their sort of hump-like structure that they have going down their back. Love the blue right here, and I love the red right here, and I love the blue mouth. There's something about like blue mouth dinosaurs that just is so interesting to me. And the counter shading also looks great. I love their underbelly. Amazing job. I love the way that this one looks. This just looks so good. So this is another Acrocanthosaurus right here. Also looks fantastic. I love the striping, and I love the scales that it has going on right here. Very cool stuff. I absolutely do love it, and I'm covering some of your text. Can't do that. There we go. Keep moving my face. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love it. We got a Utah raptor here. Captured a lot of its bulk and its sort of interesting shaped snout right there. We got a long tail and got a little bit of feathers going on as well. Amazing work. I do really like it. You guys are all killing it. Oh, this is Kyoryu. Kyoryu is, of course, a dinosaur game that'll be coming out. It's a samurai Tyrannosaurus with his son. And of course, it's got the Dimetrodon too. That's very cool. That's very cool. And I love the shading that you did here. It all looks very dynamic, and I love the way that the armor looks. It looks like it's very distinct from the rest of the animal's body. Amazing job. A turkey theory. I love that. It's got like the little waddle right here and, you know, all of those very interesting structures that turkeys have. Always a fun like combination to have like a turkey mixed in with a therizinosaur. So that I do love that. That's really cool. I love the way that the claws look as well and the feathering. So we got another Dilophosaurus right here. Love the blue on this one and the sort of like reddish yellow crest that it has going on up here and these little spikes and or feathers that it has as well. Amazing work. I love the coloring and the shading on that one. That one looks really good. We got some toy photography right here. We got a Diabloceratops going up against the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Baryonyx. Very cool mashup. You can kind of like see this as like a clash of like paleo accuracy and the more stylized look of the Jurassic World trilogy, which is ultimately very fun. Obviously, I don't know if that's what the intention is, but that's the beauty of art, is that you can interpret it in different ways, and that's how I kind of interpret it, and that's fun. I like that. Also, what a fascinating location. There's something about it. I don't know. Got palm trees too. That's cool. I love that. This is cool. Not my best piece, but it's a piece made in VR chat. That's cool. That's really cool. No, that's really cool. Like, it's just basically just a series of lines, which I guess most art is, but like most drawings are. But no, like the kind of like white lines you have right here that kind of reflect, I guess, a lot of the light that's shining, especially on this side. That looks really cool. I love the way that looks. That looks fantastic. You're definitely downplaying it a little bit. Not my best piece. Well, if this is not your best piece, then your best piece must be like immaculate, because this is fantastic. These Triceratops, they look really good too. Amazing work. I love that. Bambi Raptor. We don't see a lot of art of Bambi Raptor out there, and I love it. Look at him, how he's kind of like all just kind of like, this is an interesting way for me to show it off, but all kind of like just all scrunched up, just hanging out. I love the little whiskers that it has too. I love when people give Dromaeosaurs whiskers. And the feathering looks so good. You captured the look of feathers very well. I love that. Ooh, this is cool. A freaking cool Triceratops. It is a freaking cool Triceratops. Yeah, I love the colors. And I love how it's like looking directly at you, which would be a terrifying sight to see. And you captured the skull shape very well, especially with the frill, and the brow horns look really good too. This is like a very difficult angle to pull off with dinosaur reconstructions, at least from what I can tell. And you nailed it with this one. That looks really cool. We got a pair of more Acrocanthosauruses, which is always awesome. Just a couple of them chilling, just hanging out, and they look really good here. I love their colors. I love the striping and the spots they have right here. Their arms also look really good too. And I also do really love seeing the lips, but amazing work with that one. So this one's based off of the prehistoric planet Tyrannosaurus Rex. Looks really good. You captured the babies very well, and the bulk of Hank very well as well. I'm saying well a lot. So I love the nasal structure, and I do love the sort of lacrimal, the post-orbital lacrimal corns and the lacrimal crests. And the colors look really cool as well. Nice kind of like reddish coloration with some black stripes. And the lips also look fantastic. And look at that. Is that Longasquama that I see back there? I think that might be Longasquama. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. A lot of talk about Drepanosaurs recently because of the most recently Mirasaura that was discovered. Longasquama was a Drepanosaur. Of course, it didn't live with T-Rex, but that's a fun little inclusion right there. If that's what that is. If it's not, be sure to correct me. But if that's Longasquama, that's cool. I love Longasquama. Underrated. This is Concavinator. That looks awesome. I love the lighting on it. Really looks like it's like a 3D animal just kind of standing there. The sort of gray coloration with these quills right here too, because it might have quill knobs on its ulna, or I don't know if it was its ulna specifically, but on one of its arm bones, either they're quill knobs or they're extra attachment points for muscles. The jury's still out on that. But like, portraying them with these sort of like quill knobs, that's fair. And then like on the midline of the back going on to the hump-like structure too, very cool. And I love the red up here. So amazing work. I love it. So this one looks really cool. This is Tupandactylus right here, which is a very cool pterosaur. Love that crest. And these colors are fantastic choice, like an inspired choice. Kind of like nice yellow crest right there, green body as well, and a blue beak. That looks so cool. I love that. And it looks like it's painted too. Which is always really cool. I love it. Ooh, that is nice. That is awesome. So Ceratosaurus couple, we got one that's more of like an orange coloration with some really cool blue structures, like blue lacrimal crests and blue nasal crest or nasal horn. The osteoderms also look really inspired as well. And it's got a lot of bulk too. I love when Ceratosaurus is portrayed with a little bit more bulk. Because it just, I mean, like it was likely, and it just looks really cool. This one also looks really good too, with like this sort of gray coloration in the black. Of course, that this one has black too, and the osteoderms are also really cool right there. Amazing job. I love that. Ceratosaurus is, it's one of my favorite dinosaurs. I always love seeing it. And the monochromatic is female. Yeah, got male and female right here, which is just very cool. I love that. So we have Styxosaurus here. That looks awesome. They got that proper, like, sort of streamlined body. Sorry, Laura. They got that sort of proper, like, streamlined body that's just, like, perfect for swimming in the water, of course. And they got the flippers. I also really love the way that the tail looks and that elongated neck with the relatively small head. And I also love how dynamic they are as one's swimming down and one is swimming up. That looks so cool. And you guys, all of you killed it. All of you killed it. This is why it's always difficult to make choices in this series. Carnotaurus head right here. Awesome horns. The red coloration is very striking. I love the blue around the eye and the red eye as well. And that throat also looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of a turkey as well. That is so cool. Love it. Awesome job, everybody. Right here, we have another Ceratosaurus, which is a bit curious of this giant dragonfly. That's so cool. It's got the 4 fingers like Ceratosaurus did. Awesome colors right here, and also does have lips. I love the way that the head structures look. The green and the blue and the red, all very cool stuff. It looks like a very cool kind of like reptile coloration. Fantastic job there. This is cool. This is a Velociraptor. The coloring is based off of starlings, and also just kind of like, that's so cool. That is so cool. Just all 3 of them, and the Velociraptor here, and what I assume is the sun right there. Also the colors. The color, you got like an iridescent sheen going on. That is so wicked. I love that. Yeah, 23 flames. That makes sense. That is so wicked. That is so cool. Awesome, awesome stuff. And plus, you got the shape of Velociraptor down very well as well. Ooh. So, Baryonyx right here. One eye is the name of this Baryonyx. As you can see, it's kind of missing an eye right there. This looks great, though. I love that blue and that yellow. And you got the heavy claw down to a T. This looks really good. And I especially love how it's like light shining on it. And as a result, you can see like the second Baryonyx hanging out back there. I love pictures like that. I love images where it's like you caught them at night and then they're just like, they're kind of surprised maybe for a second because like, oh, something's shining on them. So they're just staring and then you could just see their eyes reflecting. It looks very creepy, but when you like boil it, like get down to it, it's just an animal trying to figure out what's shining at them, you know? That's so cool. I love the crest as well. I love that. Therizinosaurus, a very cool Therizinosaurus, very stylized. I love the way that the feathers look, how they kind of like have this kind of sharp edge to them, and these massive claws. That looks so cool. And I also love the way that it's opening its mouth right here, especially with like the kind of saliva dripping down. Makes it feel very real. I really like that. Ooh, so we got JP3 Spino and the current knowledge Spinosaurus. That's cool. I always love seeing the comparisons with those ones. They both look really good. I think you nailed both of them pretty well. I love the tail on the current knowledge Spinosaurus, and I love the way that its sail looks as well. And the coloring is very cool. It's like they're kind of similar to each other, but yet still pretty distinct. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Another Dilophosaurus. I love when Dilophosaurus's crest is portrayed like this. Like, like I've drawn Dilophosaurus before. Doesn't look good. But when I did, its crest looked like that. And yeah, that's how I like to view it. Obviously, Dilophosaurus's crest is incomplete, so we don't know how big its crest was in life. This is just my favorite interpretation of its crest. The feathers also look really cool. I love seeing feathers on Dilophosaurus. They are still very possible for Dilophosaurus. And yeah, you got the whole slender build down, and I love the muscle definition too. Looks so good. We got Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus. These two live together. They look so good, though. I love the crest on the Spinosaurus, and I love the whole shape of the Carcharodontosaurus. And you got the snout down pretty well of Spinosaurus as well. That looks so good. I love that. And I think there might be a little bit of scarring on the Spinosaurus. I know there is on the Carcharodontosaurus. It's missing a little bit of its lip. That's unfortunate, but such is the life of a theropod. Amazing work. Ooh, that is insane. Look at that. That's a T-Rex, of course, with some flames going on right here. That's so wicked. Look at that. I also love how like pronounced those horns are. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Wow. I don't even like have much to say other than the fact that's just so cool. And look at that glowing eye as well. That's insane. Oh, AI could never, I swear. Then we have a life-sized thylacine right here. I'm sure that many of you do recognize this fella. Very cool work right here. Looks very, very lifelike, of course. And yeah, it's life-size too. So it's like this is one of the best ways to kind of know what a thylacine looked like. As of course, it was a recent animal. We do have videos of it, and it's a very unfortunate animal to go extinct. But you captured it very, very well right here. Ooh, we have a Lambeosaurus model right here too. That looks so cool. The crest looks awesome. It looks pretty it matches up pretty well. I love how you gave it sort of like a horizontal pupil, which certainly does make sense for hadrosaurs, and you got the whole shape of it down pretty well. So I really do like it. Ooh, that's awesome. So this is Pyroraptor, a memory of ash and flame. If you don't know, Pyroraptor got its name because it was discovered in France after a fire. A fire kind of like uncovered its fossils. So it was named Pyroraptor, which means fire thief. And this is, of course, a reference to that, kind of like morphs into the flames. A good reference to its name. I love the coloring on this too, like in the feathers and everything. That looks so cool. I love that. That looks awesome. This is cool. So, you know, obviously I wasn't just looking at paleo accuracy for this. And as I mentioned, here's a Thanatus Draken with more of a dragon take. Which, yeah, I mean, you know, Thanatus Draken, that certainly does make sense. I love the way that the wings are folded, and it's got a really cool shape about it, especially in the head, and I love how beefy that neck is, and the whole, like, spikes going on right here, and the striping also looks really cool. I love the mountains in the background, too. That looks very dynamic. I love that. Ooh, so what do we have here? We got Velociraptor, a speculative species named Velociraptor haliatus. Heliades, Velociraptor emulating Osprey. Okay, okay. I like it. I like the shading. It's very like very realistic. I love the way that it's holding its arms too. Also seems very realistic. It's going after a fish right here. Swim away, fish. Don't do it. But yeah, no, everything about it looks really good. There's so much detail packed into this, and it captures a dromaeosaur very, very well. It's very exceptional. So right here, we have a Styracosaurus with, I assume, a medieval knight. So with a knight that has a young Styracosaurus in training to be a steed. That's a fun idea. I love stuff like that. I'll still stand on this hill. If I ever got the chance to make like a dinosaur show or movie, it'd be like in the Wild West, and medieval times would be really fun as well. Especially like with the Styracosaurus that's kind of dressed up like how, like how you'd see in like Renaissance fairs, have some medieval horses are kind of like dressed up in their kingdom's attire and stuff like that. That's just a fun concept. I love the shape of the Styracosaurus too. You seem to nail it in that department. Looks so good. Got another T-Rex here. It's based off of the skeleton of Sue, who is one of the most complete Tyrannosaurs out there. And you can very much tell it definitely does have like the same stance as Sue. You also do have a lot of the same injuries that Sue had in life, like especially this one on her leg. Because yeah, a lot of like very complete theropods that we find are just riddled with injuries. It's tough to be a theropod dinosaur, and Sue's no exception. She's very complete, and as a result, there's like a lot of damage all over her body, and that is represented in right here. I love the way that this looks, especially with all the dots and everything. Just very stylistic. I love it. So that's awesome. We got an awesome photography piece done by, I believe this is the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus, which is not one that I've had the opportunity to get, unfortunately, but it looks so cool right here, especially in this mountainy area. Kind of looks like, it looks similar to like an area that I live near, where I'd always take my dinosaur toys up there whenever we go camping and all that, and just having them in the ground like that, it felt complete to me, you know? I was a dinosaur kid. What do you expect? I love it though. Looks so cool. Ooh, we got the Distortus Rex right here. Very awesome. I love the shading going on right here. The Distortus Rex is certainly an interesting creature. You know, it's quadrupedal. It's got 6 limbs in general. Huge bulky tail. You captured it very well right here. I especially love how its like bulbous head is kind of like shining in the light. That looks awesome. I like it. You did a really good job. Because again, it's a very interesting creature design. This is, of course, a life-size puppet done of Mogonapterus. You can't really see its full image in those pictures right there. So I'm going to keep this up for one more second so you can get all of this down. Of course, you can pause it, but you know, here's the full thing right here. You got all the teeth in the front of the beak. You also have like some information down here, which I love that. And I love the way that the little feathers look, and that crest also looks awesome. So you nailed it in every department. The fact that it's life size is always cool. I always love seeing like life size depictions of these creatures. It's very, very fun. So we got a theropod right here with huge arms and 3 fingers right there. And very, very, very armored up too. Love the lighting on this. I love the shading, and I love like the background of it too. It kind of like has an air of creepiness to it. I like that. That's very cool. We got a really awesome dromaeosaur right here with also a tag around it. So it might seem like this is like one that's in captivity, one that's kind of like being observed or monitored or something like that, which is some very cool insight. Oops, my face blocking stuff. Don't do that. It has the whole shape of a dromaeosaur down to a T. I love the coloration that it has as well. And the colors just look really cool. I love the shape of its head too, and the coverage of feathers going all the way up here is always something I love to see. Amazing stuff. The one who fears nothing. That be Dreadnoughtus right here. I love the way that it looks. It has a pretty good Titanosaur shaped head, and I love the bulk of the neck. And those colors do certainly seem to fit Dreadnoughtus. It looks so good. I love it. Next up, we have Kalinkin. I love the way that looks. We haven't seen too many Cenozoic creatures. I can think of a few faces covering things. There we go. Yeah, no, this is a really cool one to see. It's a dinosaur that, you know, of course, it lived in the Cenozoic because birds are dinosaurs. I love the way that its beak looks, and I love the colors that you have as well. Very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. We got another Ceratosaurus. Man, you guys killed it. You guys killed it. What can I say? You guys killed it. And there's a lot of art. We've been recording for 40 minutes. But you guys killed it. You guys killed it. So we got some really cool colors right here. Very dynamic. It looks so cool. I love the way that the crests up here look. Some cool yellow coloration going on right here, and the osteoderms look fantastic as well. Very good job. I love that. And the saliva right here too. Just makes it feel alive. We have a little hybrid. It's a mixture between a concavinator and Cryolophosaurus, which is so cool. That's so cool. That's interesting. Yeah, you get a really interesting look about it. I love the blue tongue as well, and the sort of orange it has up here, and the feathers up here, and the white down here just looks really cool. And so a Giganotosaurus fossil painting. That looks awesome. I love how stylized that looks. Like, it looks like that could be some really cool art that you just have hung up. I wouldn't mind having something like that anyway, because I love a little bit of a detail it has and all these shapes that are going on, just kind of like forming around it. Gives it a very cool look. This one, since I'm including all of them, here we go. I hope you can appreciate my efforts. Yeah, I'll just leave this here. We have a very cool Tyrannosaurus Rex right here. That looks so cool though. The shape of the skull, they nailed that. I love how it's missing a part of its tail. Maybe that's a reference to Y-Rex, whose tail was actually bitten in half by another Tyrannosaurus, and it seemed to have died shortly after that. Yeah, you got the bulk and you got the size of it down too, and the lips look really good, and it's got scarring up here. Looks like it's been through quite a bit, which certainly does make sense. Amazing work. So we got either a Troodontid or a Dromaeosaur right here. I like it. I like its style. I like its coloration. I like the feathers, and yeah, no, the face looks really good as well. Awesome stuff right there. Repainted Jurassic World Rebirth T-Rex. Obviously, the figure that they released, I have it. It doesn't have the sort of yellow coloration that the T-Rex had in the movie. They added that to that, and it looks great. I think you did a good job. We got Lokiceratops right here. Yeah, that's that's really cool. It's kind of like got some reins on as well, so it's like kind of like operating under the assumption that there's someone who's tamed this animal, supposedly anyway. But no, it looks so good. The round horns look great. It looks like you can see a little bit of asymmetry in its occipitals up here. Really good stuff. And it's unfinished, of course, work in progress. But look, already it looks great. If you told me it was finished, I'd believe you. Scales look great as well. We got a Brachiosaurus right here. Very good, kind of like up-to-date Brachiosaurus depiction. Doesn't really look like Giraffatitan like many old ones did. Really cool kind of like stylized art around here, around the border. And it's got a lot of bulk too. It looks a lot like a Brachiosaurus, so amazing work. Coelophysis buddies. We haven't seen really any Coelophysis. That's a fine addition right there. Kind of looks like, I don't know if you explain that. Okay, it kind of looks like they're the different morphs. There's like a more gracile morph of Coelophysis. Kind of looks like that's what this one is. And there's a more like robust morph of Coelophysis, which is what this one kind of looks like. If that's the case, that's cool. I like that. I like that you did that. Got an Ionosaurus. I love Ionosaurus. It's a very cool ceratopsian, and a wither creeper. That's fun. But yeah, no, it's got like the curved forward, like bottle opener style nasal horn, as well as the sort of occipitals it has up here, and it's kind of like some quills back here. Very cool colors as well. Right here, this certainly does look like Spinosaurus to me. I love how much bulk it has in its neck. I love the crest up here, and the snout looks really good, and the coloration too just looks really great. I assume this fella up here would be a Carcharodontosaurus just off in the distance. The sail also looks awesome, and it has like a really cool like angle about it. Hey, Rongillo, how you doing, man? So these look great. Trilobite and Ammonite video props, which that's awesome, dude. Like, these look awesome. Like, they look just like the animals. I especially like love the little blue and yellow that it has right there, and the sort of salmon color, I suppose, on the Ammonite. Awesome stuff. These look awesome. I know I'm saying awesome a lot, but it's just true. It's true. It's true. Inferno Draken, which is an animal that I've recently learned about in recent memory because of walking with dinosaurs. But yeah, it looks great right here. It's relatively large as dark, about as tall as you would be, based off of the limited fossil material. And this whole shape definitely does look like an Asdark. And you really captured the folding wings very well and the way that they would look when they're walking around. I also really like the way that the neck looks, and some cool colors going on here. Zombie Dilophosaurus. That's creepy. That is creepy. That's very creepy. Yes, very Halloween. So yeah, there's a zombie Dilophosaurus. Very creepy, which I think was probably the goal, which you nailed it. Mr. Pilkington. So real quick, I actually did buy this piece from them like a while ago, and I absolutely love it. Cause it captures Spinosaurus very well, and I love the colors. This is the second piece that I bought from them. The first was this Dilophosaurus right here. When I bought that, I was like, "Yep, that's awesome." So when they revealed that they were doing Spinosaurus, I bought that practically immediately. They do amazing work. Of course, they do have their Etsy store right here, so definitely go and like get something if that's something you're interested in, because it's just I love it. I love their work. I think that they do really amazing work. It's all like colored pencil. It's very awesome stuff. So yeah, that's an awesome piece right there. Awesome looking, I assume, Dilophosaurus. There are a few other theropods that kind of look similar to Dilophosaurus, but I assume that's what this is. Sort of black coloration, and I love the sort of shading it has going on here too. And the purple crests look awesome. Also, it looks like you got a lot of like muscle definition down, which is always a really impressive thing to me. I don't know why. This one, it's like a lot of skeleton, like kind of like working around. Yeah, you see, you're like, I assume it's a work in progress, of course, kind of like working around the skeleton. Looks very cool so far. It's gonna have like a cool kind of like blue coloration going on right here. So that's gonna be awesome. I do remember a piece like this. Of course, it's like the anthropomorphized, genetically engineered baryonyx that is smaller than its real life counterpart, but with more exaggerated features, spikes, teeth, claws. You know, it's all very stylized. It's very cool. You know, I love the red, and I love all the spikes that it has going on right here. You know, and the red mixed within the white is really cool, and there's some cool shading going on here as well. So I quite like that. I think that's fantastic. T-Rex and Guanlong is fun. They are both Tyrannosauroids. Guanlong is like the quintessential example of like what Tyrannosauroids used to be before eventually like leading into Tyrannosaurids that eventually led to Tyrannosaurus Rex itself. So it's cool to see them right next to each other. Of course, Guanlong did have like this huge crest, and that's represented quite well right here. I love the shading. I think it's like cross-hatching, cross-sectioning, something like that. It looks good here. I love it. And I love the lips on the T-Rex as well. We got a Triceratops. Wow, Ceratosaurus right here. Some awesome colors. I assume it's Ceratosaurus anyway. I believe it is. Yeah, Ceratosaurus. Crests look great. I love the colors, and I love how it's kind of like looking behind. And it has 4 fingers too, which is correct. And I love the way that the feet look. Awesome job. Awesome job. I love that. We got Lego right here. So we have Pteranodon sternbergi, and we have Ichthyovenator, both going after fish. Quite fitting for both of them, as they're both fish-eating animals. I love the way that the Ichthyovenator looks. I love how you captured its small sail, and how it kind of like dips down right here, and then picks right back up right there. That's very cool. And very creative way of doing the wings for the Pteranodon. That's so cool. And the crest looks really great as well. So yes, I do consider Lego art. I do indeed. That's cool. Siamotyrannus feeding on a Varanasuchus. That's creepy though. That looks like one of those analog horror thumbnails. And I'm all here for it. Looks awesome. I love it. So right here we do have a sauropod that's like has its eggs right here, and some very interesting structures going on too. The shading looks really cool. The coloration also looks very cool. In general, looks very cool. I love the way that the limbs look as well. I assume that it would be like a titanosaur, given the way that its forelimbs look. But no, that's very, very good work right there. And as per usual, everybody's just killing it right here. I assume this fella is a Psittacosaurus, and yes, it looks really good. Got some awesome coloration right here on its jugal, like the jugal structures, and some awesome colors right here too. And I love the black, and the whole shading in general just looks really fire. I love that. That's cool. Another Acrocanthosaurus on the hunt, going after a poor sauropod. I love all the dust that it has going on right here. It makes it seem very like intense, the whole chase, which it probably was. And the shape of the Acrocanthosaurus looks so good, especially with the shading. Phenomenal work right there. We got this fella right here, which looks a lot like Eutyrannus. Love the feathering that it has going on right here, and I love the sort of lacrimal crests and the nasal ridge that it has right there. And here's like a image of the full body right there. It's covered in fluff, of course, which Eutyrannus was. Very good work. A Lambeosaurus right here. Crest looks amazing on this, and I love the coloration. Kind of looks like it might have like an eye right there, which could be used as like, hey, I'm bigger than I look. The head shape looks really good too, and I love a lot of this detail that you have going on right there. Amazing stuff. Euanmoraptor? That looks so cool though. Look at that. look at the shape of their skulls and the shading going on, and how this one kind of has a little bit of like motion blur, or it's just out of focus. Regardless, it looks really good. The colors are fantastic as well, and it's just all very dynamic. Phenomenal, just phenomenal. Ooh, look at this. We got Vasuki, which might be larger than Titanoboa, but we're not too sure. And a Hyenodont, which came face to face with it. That's cool. That's some cool art. Again, another like Cenozoic creature art, and I love the colors of Vasuki here. That looks really, really cool. Awesome job. Spinosaurus right here. We got this fellow right here. It's got some really detailed scales going on right here, and a sail, obviously, and a cool crest. Awesome stuff. Just awesome stuff. We got a Utah Raptor study right here. Got a lot of the bulk of Utah Raptor, and the shape of the head looks really good right there. I love the feathers on top of its head, and the hands look really good too. And I love the way that that toe claw looks. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal, everybody. This is a Carcharodontosaurid. I'm not too sure which one specifically, but looks great. It's got some scarring on the snout. It's got a really cool crest going on right here. And the colors look great. The colors look just mint. I love it. So yeah, just amazing work. Mapusaurus right here. Very interesting shape about its skull. And I love the colors going on right here. The awesome 2D art right here. And I love that eye. I love how kind of like piercing that eye feels. Looks really, really fantastic. Pteranodophoneus looks good. I love it. I love the blue and I love the red kind of mixed in with that yellow eye as well. Really good work right there. Ooh, this one's awesome. So I think we've definitely seen your art before, and I do follow you, of course. Got Australovenator. Australovenator is a very cool Megaraptorid, and you killed it. Here, look at that. It looks like you just went out and took a picture of Australovenator. That's exactly what it looks like, and I love it. Got the huge claws. It got the proper skull shape. It looks amazing. Just looks amazing. I love it. It looks so good. Right here we have a Sarcosuchus with some Oranosaurs in the background. I'm not too this might be Rebor Sarcosuchus, and these are the Holongud Oranosaurus. They look great though. This toy photography is always really impressive to me. I'm always like afraid to bring my figures outside like that, so I never do. So like when you guys do this and like make it look this awesome, it's just always really impressive to me. Right here, I'm not too sure what for this fella is, but I think it might be a Spinosaurid, maybe even Irritator, given like the boxy shape of that snout, which is how often Irritator is portrayed usually. I love the crest and I love the coloration it has going on here as well. Really awesome stuff, and I love how it's kind of like silhouetted from like the light back here. And I love all the yellows and the oranges. This one's cool. You could probably find this, or you will be able to find this on YouTube, I believe. It'll be in animation. Definitely going like it's going to be an animated short. It's going to be like a reference to like the leaping Laylaps. It's going to be an homage to vintage Paleoart and early 2000s game aesthetics with a considerable amount of creative liberties, of course, which looks awesome. And yeah, this right here kind of showcases leaping Laylaps, which is like one of the most famous Charles R. Knight depictions of like Dryptosaurus that is very active, which is different from how most people portrayed dinosaurs at the time. So I'm very excited to see that. I'll definitely be checking it out when it is released. Pteranodostro, which is a very, very weird fella, has these sort of just, yeah, like teeth-like structures down here that would kind of like scoop up krill and things like small microorganisms that they can eat. So good. I love the pink coloration on Pteranodostro. I think that's always very fun to see. Right here, I assume we have a mosasaur. We got a plesiosaur back here and the shark. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I love the coloring and I love the counter shading on the mosasaur, especially. Really does capture it quite well. It might be a tylosaur given how triangular that snout seems. But it does have like the pterygoid teeth too, which is also really cool. Amazing stuff. Oh, we got some very stylized Tyrannosaurs. Two of your favorites, which is Changosaurus and Alioramus. Like two relatively small, like long-snouted Tyrannosaurs. I see why you love them. They're very fun. You can definitely see it in Changosaurus, which it doesn't translate, but the nickname for Changosaurus is Pinocchio Rex, and it was given that name because it has a very long snout. And Alioramus had one too. Both captured very well here. I love them. Scorpiovenator. Sweet. So you have a really cool Abelosaurid right here. Very like robust snout. And all of these like this tough skin right here. And also the very short arms. Just captured very well. And I love the coloration as well. And then very retro, the Parasaurolophus breathing fire thing. That's, of course, something that didn't happen. I love it though. I love how it's like an accurate Parasaurolophus too, breathing the fire, kind of like paying homage to that retro Parasaurolophus breathing fire idea that was proposed by some folks. Very fun. Very, very fun. Tyrannosaurus Rex, working on a 3D model. Very good. I love it so far. Can't wait to see the final product. Not too sure what these fellas are, but I assume this might be Allosaurus or something. Either way, I really like their colors going on right here, and I love the whole background as well. Very cool stuff. This is very cool. We got two male Baryonyx walkeri having a territorial dispute during a drought. That's very fun. I love the colors on these guys, and I love how 3D they look as well. Really do look like real animals. That's very cool. I love it. So we have a Nanooksaurus right here, sort of white coloration and a darker head with some blue, which is really cool. And the feathers look fantastic as well. And I love the mountains, especially with like the sort of clouds back here. And that sun also looks awesome as well. I like it. That's a good one. Right here, we have Calver, a young Tyrannosaurus Rex with an amputated arm. Oh no. I don't know. Look at all that scarring in general. This T-Rex has gone through a lot, which certainly does make sense. I love the way that, I love the shape of the skull. I love all of these eye structures up here, and I love how much bulk it has. Very good job. Eophysider. That's cool. I love that. It's kind of like the sort of Minecraft style, kind of like blocky art, which looks really cool because it seems like it captures the animal pretty well. And this might be the 4th ever drawing of this animal, which is cool, which I think I would consider an achievement. So that's very cool. I like it. I love the sort of shading it has, like the differentiation of like the slightly different colored pixels that go into it that kind of like separate different parts of the body. I think that looks really, really good. This right here is a 1900s Liopleurodon photo. Liopleurodon looks creepy, if you ask me. If I saw that in the water, I'd be like, oh no. It's the end, which for good reason. But I love it. That looks really good. Origin of a Legend, a silly little take on the Big Al epic fail. Yeah, in Walking with Dinosaurs, the Ballad of Big Al, when Big Al tripped and broke his toe. Nowadays, it would be her toe because, medullary bone tissue might be present in the Big Al specimen, which implies that Big Al was actually a female. So like Big Alice or something. Very sad. Very sad. I love it though. I love how silly it is, and I love the colors on this too. These colors kind of feel right for Allosaurus. Kind of like a nice gradient going on right there. But yeah, broke her toe. Very unfortunate. We got like a Jurassic June dino portraits. Of course, it was Jurassic June. T-Rex, Dilophosaurus, Velociraptor, Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, and Gallimimus all look really good. Nice local collage going on right here. And I love how dynamic these are and like really cool references of all of the cool moments from the movie, basically. We got a Dilophosaurus and a Majungasaurus. Oh, that poor Majungasaurus. It's going to be taken out by the Dilophosaurus. But I like it. I like it. I like the shape of the Dilophosaurus, and I like the shape of the Majungasaurus. Seems to have captured their likeness pretty dang well. This is interesting. Grant Regent Spino. Yes, this really happened. I know it did. I was there. Looks awesome. I like it, though. The Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus in this sort of stylized way. Very fun. This is cool. Again, with those eyes shining, type of Tyrannosaurid in the darkness. Very creepy. It looks like it was caught like on a trail cam. I like it. I really do like that. I think that's really cool. Made this in freeform. Capture the shape of Spinosaurus very well, and I love the colors that you're applying to it. The blue is always a very cool choice, if you ask me. Very inspired. I like that as well. Biology's Dimorphodon that he said was terrible, but I like it. I don't know. To me, there's like no such thing as terrible art, but I love the colors going on here, and it's got the whole shape of Dimorphodon, and it has a true fact right here. Dimorphodon is not a dinosaur because it is a pterosaur, and pterosaurs branched off way before Dinosauria was ever established as a clade. Looks good though. I like it. Again, he says it's terrible. I disagree. We got another Ceratosaurus inspired from the Isle of Rima. I'll leave this stuff up here for a second. And here it is. Got the whole shape down. It looks really cool. I love the structures it has up here. And the shading also looks really good. I really do like that. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got a Spinosaurus parent with their offspring eating an Onchopristis, which is awesome. I love the colors on this one. They're very vibrant. Oh, there's two Spinosaurus juveniles. Very vibrant, especially with all these different patterns leading into the tail. It just looks really good if you ask me. And I love the orange on the snout as well. And the whole background is just filled and lush with detail. Amazing stuff. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Very cool Ceratosaurus right here. Awesome crests going on. Colors are also really awesome, and it does seem to have lips as well. And I love that eye. I love how blue that eye is too, and these sort of osteoderms that it has leading down its back. Oh, this might be Eutyrannus. It kind of looks like it has the horns right there. I'm not if I got that wrong, I do apologize, but I like it. I like how you can see the northern lights going on right here too. The trees all look really good as well, and the feathers. Look at those feathers, especially the way they're laying in the snow. That's awesome. Assume this fella's Spinosaurus as well. It's got the whole shape down. Love the sail, and I love the colors that you chose. We got a vintage iguanodon right here, assuming the tripod pose, dragging its tail around with relatively small thumb spike, which is an always interesting thing that they portrayed him like that in the earlier days. But I love the colors too, and yeah, it very much does look like a vintage iguanodon, which is always very fun. This is cool. This is very dynamic. You got a Spinosaurus right here, kind of like jumping out of the water and just ready to just be awesome. I love the splashing, the way that you made the splashing look. It looks very real. And I love how it's kind of like brush strokes in the sky. Something about it that just makes it feel even more epic and kind of historic, if you ask me. I really like that. We got a Tylosaurus right here. That looks really good, though. I love the forked tongue that it has, which is always something that I think that mosasaurs did have, considering the fact they were basically just giant lizards. And the flippers look really good. And it's got the tail fluke, too. And it's very dynamic. It's going after the poor plesiosaur. The counter shading, too, looks fantastic. We got another T-Rex 3D model right here. It's got a lot of the bulk, too. It's got a lot of the eye structures. It looks great. I really do like that. Some Megaraptor. I love the way that it's there. I love how it kind of has some camouflage going on, and the way that it's just kind of staring there, and with like the huge claws too. You always have to show off the claws when looking at a Megaraptor. That looks good. That looks really good. I really love the sparse feather, or the kind of feathers that it has too. And these leaves too, something that helps give it some depth. That's just great. I love that. That's a really cool artistic piece. We got a Chylosaur right here. Get a little better look right there. Got all of the osteoderms in the club as well, and the feet look pretty good as well. Very good stuff. We got the Dominion Giganotosaurus. It's a render. It looks really good. It really looks really terrifying. And I love the kind of like grays and whites right here that kind of just make it feel really artistic. So that's awesome. Drawing a JP Tyrannosaurus Rex with its eggs. Looks very cool. I love how the tongue's out. Might be a reference to the original Jurassic Park novel where it had like a really long tongue and it kind of like basically bit its tongue off. It also has some bite marks right here. Definitely a T-Rex that goes through some stuff and probably some more scarring. But yeah, no, I love that. That's a fun little drawing right there. Here we have the main Rex from individual for my project Primal Horizon. Yeah, I like that. I like how bumpy it is. I like how gnarly it looks. And it's got all of this scarring too. And those horns are very, very much pronounced. Looks really cool. And I love the shading too. The shading is just really, like, you killed it with that. Like a lot of people have, but it just looks good. That's a very good Rex too. It's got the whole scaling pretty much down. And yeah, it's got a lot of that bulk as well. I love it. Next up is a really cool Suchomimus right here. Got a lot of like crocodilian influence taken in it, with a lot of like osteoderms going on right here. Huge arms with these really huge curled claws. Colors will look awesome on this one. I like it. Very stylized. Ceratosaurus, another one. Kind of looks like a mixture of like more accurate and kind of like Jurassic Park-esque. You got the like 3 rows of osteoderms instead of like the traditional one. I love how this foot's facing us. And I like the shape of the skull as well. This is cool. Not too sure what these fellows are. This could be like the Morris formation, maybe. I don't know. Regardless, I like their colors. I think they have some very cool stripes going on, and I love the depth that's provided with this branch right here. A Tropiognathus, that looks great. That looks really great. I love the detail in the beak, and I love the detail in the pycnofibers. I also love how the wing is folded like that. That's pretty much proper. And the teeth look great too. Awesome job. Ooh, Yangchuanosaurus. Looks great. It looks like a 3D model right here. Is that a Halo Spartan? I think that's from Halo Reach specifically. Because you got like the Halo Reach assault rifle right there. And you got the rocket launcher back there. I'm pretty sure that you're from Halo Reach. That's a cool scaling choice right there. My head's blocking that. But I love it. It looks really good. It looks a lot like the PNSO figure, and it's got like that really cool crest that Yangchuanosaurus did have. And yeah, not much else I can say. It just looks really, really good. Another awesome Dilophosaurus. This one's portrayed as being a lot more thin, some cool feathers going on, awesome looking crest. All around, very good. Eustreptospondylus right here, not a dinosaur that we see too frequently. Of course, Eustreptospondylus was in Walking with Dinosaurs. I love the position that it has. It's kind of like almost facing the camera. And the colors also look really inspired. Deinonychus anteropus, scavenging from a carcass, currently swarmed by flies. Looks really good. You capture the whole shape of Deinonychus pretty well. And I assume these fellas back here might be Tenontosaurus, which is, an animal that lived with Deinonychus. Amazing work. I love the feathers. Yeah, Tenontosaurus herd and pterosaurs in the background. So I finished reading. Scelidosaurus, which is a dinosaur that we actually have a good idea of what its appearance looked like. Looked a lot like this. I like the osteoderms, and I like the way it's just kind of lying down, looking all cute. I love it. I love your work. You got a mipe right here. Kind of an unfortunate situation to be in right now, but I love it. You got the snout shape pretty much down to a T. The arms look really good as well, and I love the patterns going on right here. We got Terry from Dinosaur King. A lot more bulk added to it, like I mentioned earlier when we saw Terry beforehand. And the red and the yellow obviously look really good. Very dynamic. I'm pretty sure I saw your work before with Chomp from Dinosaur King. And just like that, looks amazing. Gecko, I know you. This is an awesome like mural. The modified horses and painted as the Deinonychus. That's cool. It's kind of like riding Deinonychus right here. This is really cool. Kind of like, sort of ancient style art that just, makes it stylized in a very fun way. I love the way that the feathers look, especially the colors on this one. Really, really cool stuff. You got a T-Rex here as well. I love the way that those scales look, and I love this rock right here. Makes it very, very dynamic. This is interesting. I'm not sure what this fella is, but it looks like Dilophosaurus back here and a Spinosaurus right here. I love it. I love how you got like 3 layers to that basically, and the bridge is really cool as well. Troodontid scene thingy. I like it. I like how much detail it has, especially over here with all those mountains and those hills. And the rock has a lot of detail too. It kind of looks like it would be like a roadrunner just kind of like perched on a rock. That's how real it feels. I love that. Amazing, amazing work. Pokesaurus. We got like a huge collage of dinosaurs right here. All look really good. I love that Dilophosaurus. You killed it with that. This is all for the Jurassic. The Cretaceous will have to wait. The Triassic and Jurassic. Yeah, we got some Triassic down here. That's so cool. That is so cool. I love that. You killed it, dude. I love it. There's a better picture of it. Yeah, no, absolutely killed it with this. That looks so cool. I had 4 minutes. This is fantastic in 4 minutes. I love it. Look at it. Look at that. You gotta love it. This is also really cool. I love the kind of like pose that you have it with. The horns look really good, and I love the shape of that mouth. Very fun, stylized version. And we got like some pixel art of the Rebirth Spino. Awesome. Looks awesome. I love the way those teeth look, how they're kind of like poking out. It's another really fun stylized version. And I believe that one is the last of it too. So yeah, again, I tried to include everybody's. I wanted everybody's to be placed into this, mostly because I'm kind of like angry about AI images and how rampant they're becoming out there. And I just really wanted to showcase as much art as I possibly could. I know that not everybody stuck around to the end. If you did, thank you. Thank you for sticking around and looking at all of this amazing art done by a lot of really awesome people. You can do art. Everybody can do art in some way, shape, or form. And the justification that people are using that AI is making art accessible is simply just wrong. No matter who you are, you can do something that expresses yourself and you can do art. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it and just applying yourself and just learning how to do it and just doing it. That's it. That's all you have to do is just do the art. You don't have to rely on AI images. And I don't like the fact that people are starting to move in that direction and they're trying to look for workarounds to try to justify the existence of AI images. It's something that I will be against. I will always be against it. I am 100% not for it. that's just pretty much where I stand with that. But I won't drone on about it too much longer. I do hope you guys enjoy this video. The Discord server will probably, or like this specific channel should be open up again. So I'm going to try to remember to do that so you guys can go and check out all of this amazing work, and definitely go and support these artists. Support your artists, support your friends who are artists, support all that stuff, because I don't like the direction that the internet is currently taking, and I'd very much like to see it pushed to the side, I suppose. I'm more of a, I like art type person, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day.